want to bring in outgoing city councilwoman Robin Kniech, who is wrapping up 12 years on council, term limited out from her at-large position. So I'm going to ask you the same question, Councilwoman Kniech, that I asked Alton Dillard earlier tonight. Based on your experience in Denver politics, is there a logical path by which Kelly Brough comes back from her current deficit knowing who her voters are?
Unlikely. It's not a probable outcome, no.
So at that point, take us behind the scenes to the extent that you can. What's the calculus that goes on now, both in terms of numbers and in terms of emotions, before somebody makes that call, makes that concession?
Well, your forefront of your mind is really respect for those voters whose votes haven't been counted yet. You may feel like you know the outcome, but you want to be respectful. You don't want anyone feeling like you got ahead of the count. And so that's really some of what's going on. You do have this cordiality between the candidates that you referenced earlier, but it's really the voter that you're most concerned about. And I think that we try to always, even when a candidate says, we are calling this race, we believe we're the next. Want to always reference the validity of every vote.
I'm curious if we do end up hearing a Mike Johnson victory speech tonight. Councilwoman Kniech, I know that you've been critical of both candidates and said that some of their ideas are unrealistic, not particularly well thought out. I feel like you've offered what could be construed as constructive criticism to both. What's something that you want to hear from Mike Johnson tonight, if in fact he is the next mayor of Denver?
I think it's important to hear how he is going to bring in listening and collaboration. If he has beat a woman in this runoff, it's going to be incumbent on him to think about what managerial skills and what some of the listening skills that people look for in women candidates he can reflect in his administration. And he has had those big ideas, those big visionary ideas, and big visionaries sometimes aren't known for that listening and that collaboration. He's going to have to work with the legislative branch in our city council. And so how can he bring those things that people were looking for and saw in Kelly Brough, and how can he bring them into his administration? If they're not his strengths, are they in his chief of staff? Are they in his cabinet appointments? How does he work on balancing those things out? And then how does he take the feedback he got during his campaign? Maybe he didn't adjust his housing plan during the campaign. How does he face the realities of the feedback he got and adjust in his governing? And that is what I'm looking for, and what I think many of the others who endorsed him, even with their hedges. John Parvensky had some of those hedges in his own endorsement, others as well. So I think that's what many will be looking for.
Outgoing Councilwoman Robin Kniech, appreciate your perspective as always.
Great to be here.
From a jubilant Union Station, just waiting to hear something from Kelly Brough and then Mike Johnson. I'm Kyle Clark. Election night coverage continues.